There's my audio. I should have audio now. Let me double check. I just missed pushing one button. Let's see. Let me just double check, make sure I have some audio now. There we go. I do have audio now. Awesome. Anyways, just a quick stream tonight, no more than 90 minutes. But I found an issue. Hey, Ken Gross. Yeah, I'm only going for about an hour and a half. I'm doing good. I've got a bit of a cold going on, so kind of exhausted from fighting this cold. But I'm on daytime medication now, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why my voice sounds like it would be, more so. Anyways, hey, Zixelter. So I found an issue. I was just tweaking this a little bit. It's just some basic stuff. Okay, I tested the end stops. The end stops are fine. I homed Z and I homed Y. They're homing fine. There's no problems with those. But I'm at the point now where I want to define where my probe is. Okay, so we did the M112, I think it was. Let's just see what command I put in there. Oh, I just lost my where's my window? There it is right there. Yeah, we did the M114 command, right? And gave me my coordinates, etc. But in order to make sure that these were lined up, hey, Zenbender, you want to play Minecraft but no computer outlet or internet? This was a Christmas present t-shirt. I'm not a big gamer, but I like the shirt. I don't even play Minecraft. Ethan does. So anyways, well, thanks, Jose. Yeah, it's a head cold. I've tested myself for COVID. It's not COVID, so it's just your typical cold that's just going to run its course. I'm hoping it's going to be better for my New Year's Day stream, but I'm streaming regardless. So, problem I found now, in order to make sure that my nozzle right here is lined up properly by my Z probe, Z probe switch here, I wanted to bring the bed by hand. I was bringing the bed up to make sure that I'm actually lined up pretty good. The problem I found, and I ran into this problem earlier, is this drag chain is too short. This drag chain is too short by a fair bit. My other drag chains were a bit too short as well, so I had to put those spare pieces in. I don't have any spare pieces for this drag chain now, but if I try and lift Z up, you can see what's happening to the drag chain. It's right there, tightening, and I'm still a fair ways away from my nozzle. So this drag chain is too short. It's not letting me pull this up as high as it should. So I have to either raise up this bottom piece here. I can take it and put it on one screw and move it up to the top screw. And I can probably do the same here. I'm just trying to see if this top one is attached by one or two screws. Hey, Shadell. And if the top one is attached by two screws, I can always move it up one, which it is. So I can always move this top one up one screw and just have it attached by one screw only. And I can move this bottom one up by one screw and have it attached by one screw only. And that weakens it. But the fact is, this is probably one or two links too short. Yeah, there is an issue there for sure. So I don't know whether it's an oversight in the Trident kit from LDO or whether I've done something wrong, but I've printed all the appropriate parts for this. I've mounted it properly. The gantry doesn't mount any lower. It's a fixed height. I just think that this drag chain, as well as the other ones, we were one or two links too short on these drag chains. So, yeah. So I don't know if I have any other drag chains. I don't think I do. So what I'm going to do for now, and just for those of you that weren't here last night, you can see we got the display going just fine now. We figured that out last night. So what I'm going to try right now is I'm going to pop off these two screws in here. I'm going to ignore the one screw and I'm going to move it up one screw hole. Then I'm going to pop off the bottom one here, move it up one screw hole, see if that's going to be enough to allow me to get to the nozzle with the probe, without stretching it out too much. Because, you physically cannot go any higher than it was. So that's what I'm going to sort of do. So let me, and then I'll worry about it after. So I'm likely going to have to replace this or just get a couple more pieces. I'm trying to think, did I have spare on the 2.4? It uses the same size drag chains, but I don't think it had spare pieces for it, because all I need is one or two, probably two spare pieces. I fear that moving these up one screw hole and one screw hole is not going to be enough. So, but can't hurt to try it. So let's just get the wires out of the way here a bit. And is that the right size? No, it's not the right size wrench. I need my lime green one. So I'm only going till about, it's 6 o'clock right now. I'm only going till about 7:30. We have some plans tonight. That's not the right one either. It's got to be the white one. The white one. Oh, I just have these keys mixed up in my holder, of course. Duh. Okay, here we go. So let's take this top one out. I mean, I don't think I need two in here other than to hold it steady, but just to see if this is actually going to fix the issue for the moment. So if I take that top one out, and then if I wonder if moving, no, I can't move any closer with the chain. So really, I haven't, the only options I have at this point are to move these up. And I'm hoping I left enough wire to do that. So if I take that out and move it up to the top hole, there we go. Okay, so that one's on the top hole. So we're only in with one piece there. So we're a little bit wobbly this way. And then let's come down to the bottom here. Oh yeah, I got enough. There's enough wire wiggle room there to move it out. Let's move the bottom out. Let's take the top screw out of the bottom. Okay, come on out, screw. There we go. Oh yeah, sure, fall in there. There we go. And we'll move the bottom screw up to the top hole. Okay, and we'll move that up one. And see if that's enough. Okay, so we've moved the chain up. Okay, so let's go ahead and manually raise the bed. And let's just see if this is going to be enough. Just barely. Well, see, and I don't know if that's going to affect it because I have to right about here, I can feel it. See, right here, it's nice and loose. So right there, about 3 millimeters away from the nozzle, I can feel this tightening up. And you can see it's pulling, it's straining the chain. It's straining it right here. That's going to break. I printed I'll double check, Zen. I printed all the Voron specific parts, but let me go back and check to make sure. Yeah, that's not good to have the one screw on there because that already, you can see it already pulled that out and it's straining that. So I'm not comfortable with that. Let me go check, Zen Bender, as you said. Possible that I printed the wrong parts? Yeah, that anything's possible, right? So let me go into the LDO Voron here. Let me switch over this for you guys to see too. Okay, we're on the wiring diagram right now, but let me get into the Trident kit, and we're going to get into the where are we here? Trident kit, and we're going to get into the printed parts guide. Here we go. Okay, so let's just see in here. Let's just make sure I did do the right part. So nozzle probe, cable chain parts. Okay, our cable chain uses the 2-hole configuration. So we've used the 2-hole part, so that's it. There's no link to any different parts to print there, just the 2-hole ones. Z cable anchor. So the LDO deck panel has a Z cable opening that is slightly different position than the original Z cable. Use this part. Let's have a look. So this is the part that they want to be used, and that is, let me make sure, yeah, that is the part I used. We can see right here that this is the correct part right here. That's the part they're referring to right here. Okay, and I think when they talk about holes in a different position, I think they're just talking about the hole where the wire goes down. Now, what I'm thinking, if you look at this part here, it's almost like the mounting holes should have been up top or up higher or something. I mean, if I just had a longer drag chain, it would solve all the issues. Okay, so that's the one part. So that part I did print is correct. Okay, we have heat insets in there, et cetera, et cetera. So let's go back again. That's a Z cable anchor, we did right. Deck wire cover, that's not it. XYN stop, 2-head PCB breakout, PCB mount, controller mount, deck support. Same thing, heat bed wiring, touchscreen mount, LED fan spacer, light clip, handlebar spacer, insert. So that's the only mod to do with mounting drag chains, was the anchor down at the bottom for the Z there, other than saying that, that uses the 2-hole version of the drag chains. So that's, yeah. So what I'll do is I'll look in my spare parts over there. Yeah, see, that's loosened off just from me trying to stretch that up high enough. And it's not like I don't want to obviously lengthen that probe switch or anything. This should just come up that much higher. We're speaking 2-3 millimeters, but I don't want that to be a stress on this at all. And that's just no good right there. So, and as I say, when I use the standard chains for these guys, I had to put the extra length, because if we go across here, and I could even actually use an extra length in here, because that does not quite, I have to kind of stretch it to hit the end here. And I don't want to put strain on the motors. Well, I just about picked up my probe. And then on the Y, same thing on the Y, I had to actually add an extra link to the Y, so it wasn't stretching the chain out to go to the maximum Y. So yeah, so I need to, so there's a little snag I've run into. But the good news is, as I say, I've double checked all of my probes and my switches. All my switches are triggering properly. My X and Y motors are running in the proper direction. I homed X, I homed Y. We made sure that was working. And then I got to the stage and I thought, let's pop online and do some of this, because I don't have a long time tonight, but why not? And that's when I got to, okay, I've already selected my XY position for the probe, but then I wanted to make sure I was lined up before I actually try a Z home, so that I'm not crashing into anything. But that's when I noticed, when I try to manually raise the bed to make sure I'm lined up, bed's not coming up all the way without straining this drag chain. So something I could always just take the drag chain off and let it flop and flip, but that's not the way to do it. So let me go check and see if I have any spare links from my 2.4 build. It'll be in my little cases over here. Let me just bear with me 1 second. I don't have any music on the stream, but just hum a tune in your head. Okay, let me see. Nothing in there. Okay, here's some spare belt parts. Nothing in there. There's a whole bunch of screws and stuff. That's not the bin. Okay, there we are. Okay, let's see. Nope. I don't think I have any, but it's not going to stop me from looking. I'm giving an honest look. And just belts foam tape, toolkits, nothing in there. So I don't see any. Happy New Year, gentlemen. You have exposed wire. You have exposed wire, but it would give you the links needed if the Z is the same size. You have more exposed wire, but it would give you the links needed if the Z is the same size. The X and Y chain doesn't have to go all the way. Okay, well, there. Then I could steal a link out of the Y. Let's see, how far is the Y going? The Y seems pretty good. I could steal a link out of Y, probably. And X, I don't really want to steal a link out of X because it's kind of, to print to the edge when the bed comes on would not, the X is stretching to its maximum anyways. Y, I could probably get away with stealing maybe even 2 links. Okay, well, why don't I do that? Yeah. Okay, yeah, they're all the same. Steal a link from Y at the back vertical at here. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. It's just I've got all these wires in here nice and tight now. Because I can always see, that's the issue, is I left a little bit of play in the wires, a little bit of wiggle room, but not a ton. Okay, let me figure this out here. I can probably steal one from here. This might be easier at the moment to steal one from up here. So let's try that. Let's just that all the wires are kind of in the way, but hey, you know what? We do what we have to. Let me get this under here, and this is going to help me sneak under all my wires, pull them kind of out of the way. Okay. So the gap is there. With that screw loose, push the gantry to the front and then tighten the Y chain bracket screw. So the gap is there. With that screw loose, push the gantry to the front and then tighten the Y chain bracket screw. I'm not 100% sure what you mean there. Push the gantry to the front. So push the gantry to the front and then tighten the Y chain bracket screw. Oh, I see what you mean. For the gap. Okay, if I take it out of here, it's going to be tougher to access these screws underneath here. This is only one screw holding this on. But now that I've got all my wires run, to get at it is a different story. So I can pop this off. Okay. Let's just do this. Not wrong one. Chain end bracket at Y on back side. This one here. Chain end bracket. This is the stopper thing. This can come off. Let's pop this off. See these wires, I've got the wires all nice and snug. I got a little bit of play here. Let me pop off the wire cover. That'll help me play with the wires a bit more. Let me pop that off. There, now I can move the wires out of the way. But I've got them zip tied there. There we are. Easy enough to fix. Don't snip a wire. Don't snip a wire. I didn't snip a wire. Okay. Here, maybe. Wait. What is that noise? Somebody just messaged me? Nope. That was an odd noise. And let's switch over to here. We'll get a good look right up here. Okay. Okay, so we have these. Just gonna pop this guy out of the way. It's holding that, but that's all right. So now let me undo this screw. It's this one. Okay. So we have this end, so I can pop. Let me steal a piece from here. Okay, let's pop that off. And open up. Oh, where did I put that? Right here. I think this is the one I was using. Pop this open. No, it's the other side. Yep. Oi, oi, oi. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's pop a link out of here. Okay, there's one link. I wonder if I can get away with two on this. Let's see. Yeah, I can get away with two, I think, on this. Let's take two out and see what happens. See if I can get away with two. And we'll put this end piece back on. Come on. Why? There we go. And come on, get in the other side. There we go. Okay, so those are back on. Don't have to come all the way forward if I go to there. So I'll maximize that. And go ahead and put that there. Okay, let's try that. That might work. And it's at the back, so it's not going to hurt anything. So we'll move that. Let's just move that where I can actually get the screw in. Let's find that little screw right here. Okay, let's put this in. Okay. Ah. Need my other wrench. My little green guy. There we go. And we'll screw that into the T-nut. And then we will slide forward as far as we can go with this giving me maximum length. So we can go to about there. Okay, so we can go to about there. That's all right. And let's put this tension reliever back on. This guy. Okay. This will probably work. Yeah, just a little more exposed wire at the back. You're right. Let's get these in here. Okay, let's get this other one in here. I think 2 links is going to be fine to add 2 links to that back chain, that Z chain. Okay. Grab a zip tie here. Zip tie here. Zip tie around this strain relief. Right there. Okay. And then we will throw this cover back on. Make sure all the wires are under. There we go. Everything in there. Everything's tucked in there. This one. Okay, so that should work. We still have full Y motion. There we go. A little bit of wire showing here, not a big deal. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay. Things we do for love. The things we do for love of 3D printing. Let's go ahead and put that down like that. I will snap these 2 pieces together. Come on, get in there. Oh, man. I'm so weak. Ugh. And there we go. So we have 2 spare links. This should do it. Okay. So let's... Where do I want to take it from? Let's pull this out again. Here we go. Man, we got just a lot of tight wires in here, that's all. Yeah, I think I can get away with this. So let's pop open this first one just to give me a bit of wiggle room. There we go. And I'm going to pop off this. Let's see, this is going to be, I'm going to need a bit more wire here too, I think. A bit more wiggle room on these. Yeah, so I'm just going to snip a few things off the bottom of the bed here. right here. There we go. There we go. This will give me a little more play in these wires. Okay, a little more room there. Let's undo this one zip tie holding it into the this guy. There we go. Now we got lots of wiggle room to play with here. Okay. So let's pop this end cap off. Oh, there we go. Now, question is, okay, so oh yeah, that'll be plenty if I add 2 more. Is that going to be enough room? Maybe 1 more will be enough. Maybe 1 will be enough. Mind you, I got to lower this bottom screw yet too, so I don't know if I'll actually be able to get 2 more in here and have the wires run proper. So let's just see. Let's pop another one in here. Okay, so there's 2 popped in. Can I reach? Let's lock the first one up. There's the first one. And the second one. Okay, and then this last guy. Okay, there's the wires all locked in. Yeah, these are being stretched to their max. I don't think I have any more. Let's just see which wires are being stretched underneath here. Yeah, I don't have a lot of room. There we go. Yeah, but I should be okay. Okay. Now we'll put this guy back on. Oh, hang on. Come on. No, these wires have got to come. Yeah, I need to loosen some of the bed wires here so I can pull them forward a bit more. And I'm not sure that I have that much room. And these ones I don't need to worry about. It's this bundle right here. And where's my tight ones? These are all kind of maximized out. Now, can I come up from the bottom at all? Okay. Well, first, while I remember, let me move these bottom ones back into the right position. That might help. Okay, so I come down. You're going to go in the proper hole here. Okay, put the top one in. Okay. Okay, so we're fixed on the bottom. Okay, now we got to come up here. Just got to get enough of that. Okay. Right there. There we go. That should do it. Okay. Where are my little screws? There's one here. Let's see. Bottom one. Okay, and one more. Don't strip it. There you go. Okay, there we go. We're in. I gotta replace the zip tie I took off of here. That was bundling all these guys. There we go. And I don't think, no, I can't, that's not going to reach that strain relief over there. That's got to kind of stay like that. Okay, these are okay like that. They're not going to hurt anything. Let me just see, moving up and down. So now, let me bring this back into position here. Let's see now if I can get the bed up high enough without any resistance. Yep, that works. That works. I'm triggering my probe now. Okay, good. Well, let's bring it down, and now we can actually try homing Z with my finger on the emergency button just in case, but it should all work. Let's just give it a bit lower here. Okay, well, there's that. So if you're watching this and you're building one of these, make sure you get the cable chains the right length. The drag chains, sorry, I call them cable chains, drag chains. Same thing, same poop, different pile. Okay. That is done. Do not assume they're going to come the right length. Bear with me. Excuse me. Oh, I didn't mute that. Sorry. I thought I muted that. That sucks having a cold sometimes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, now that this is good, let's go ahead and pull this just out just to make sure everything's good. We're going to go into our mainsail, and I believe I can successfully go G28 XY. So X and Y are going to home fine. Okay, we got X and Y homing. Oh, did I say home all? No, but let's see. We're going to have this, see if this works. And it triggered the X probe. Why did it home all three when I said just X and Y? It doesn't matter. Fortunately, it worked. So it worked. And we didn't have any strain. And now that, and there's still some good play on this chain now, so it's not straining that chain. So that worked out all right. Why did I do the wrong command? I thought it said G28XY. Let me just see if I... Yeah, it says G28XY. And if I, let me try, oh, because maybe I didn't put a space in there. G28X space Y. See what it does. We're going to home Y. X. Oh, there we are. I think I didn't have the right space in there, but now I can actually confidently home all, and the Z is going to work. My Z probe is in the right spot now. Boom, and it homes. There we go. Okay, but I don't think I can do a Z tilt adjust yet. I think I need to have the Klicky probe because I don't have the inductive probe on here to do my Z tilt adjust. Come on. Okay, we have homing. Yes. Okay. And I'm just, in case you're wondering what I'm doing, boom, I'm reading the Voron instructions on the screen as to what I'm doing here. So I think I skipped a step inadvertently here. So let's have a peek here. I think I missed the step up above here. I went to ZN stop location. So we don't have the inductive probe. We're not PIDing yet. So I think I missed up here. Bad locating before the zero. Oh no, I did the bad locating because that was all about putting the Z probe in the correct spot. Defining 0 point. I didn't go through this. So or did I? Hang on a minute here. Okay. Depending on the bad location, the positional parameters may need to be adjusted to relocate the 0 position or 0 point. Start by rerunning G28X at home X and Y. After this, the nozzle will be at the maximum XY as defined by your position in max X step or XY, which is what we did. So we did a G28. I need this tab to go in on beside this tab. There we go. So now if I do the G28, X space Y space and home that. So we're going to home X and Y. Nice yellow display bezel. Oh, thanks, and you like that, do you? That was somebody. Yeah, that was the idea I came up with to make it. I came up with that idea all by myself to make it so it's not so much blue. Yeah, no. Yeah, I know. You were right though. I mean, look at the front of that. You were absolutely right that it was too much blue. Okay, so we've homed X and Y. Now it says, using the octoprint or mainsail controls, move the nozzle to the front left corner of the bed. Okay, let's do that. So let's start by moving it 100 at a time. We'll go 100 over. Actually, you guys don't need to see that. You can kind of get the idea of what I'm doing. So we'll move it. There we go. 100 over. Since it's a 250 bed, I can move it another 100. Oh, that almost, what did that hit? Oh, that hit my probe. I'll bet it's going to pick up my probe. We'll come forward 100. It did. It picked up the probe. And that means I got the probe in the right position. Forward another 100. Let's just get rid of that probe. We don't need the probe on there right now, the Klicky. Let's put it back where it was. Hey, but that means I got the Klicky probe in the right position and I got the height all right on it. Okay, so now let's move this back to 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Let's go 10, 20, 30, 40. So that's front, and then the Y, I can still move the Y up a little bit to the front right. Let's go 1, and let's go. Why are you not moving? Oh, because you're at your maximum 250. Ah, so there's a front left corner maximum basically for that. Okay, so we're at the front left corner. Let's see what it says now. If the left corner of the bed cannot be reached within 3 to 5 millimeters, which it definitely is reached within 3 to 5 millimeters. Okay. The bed location needs to be physically adjusted if possible. Move the bed on the extrusion. Okay, we don't need to do that. Once the nozzle is close to the front left corner of the bed, but still on the bed, use an M114 command to retrieve the current location. Okay, so where's my little notepad here? Let's give it an M114. Okay, we have X10. Where's my pen? X is 10. Y is 0. Okay. Z is 10, but that's a moot point. Okay. Okay. Where was I? Okay, now, due to the tolerance, it's usually not recommended to have the 0 exactly on the corner of the bed or build surface, spec size, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I can always move. I can move the My Y was 0. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm never going to be printing to the edges of the beds. I very rarely do it. If I have to print to the edge of the bed on this, guess what? It's going on the rat rig. Here. Wow. It's me. Okay. So X new equals current. Okay, so now, if X and Y offsets are within 5 millimeters or 0, 0 is past the bed, positioning max value should be adjusted to change where the 0, 0 point is controlled. If the 0, 0 is over the bed, the distance from the home point to the front left position, position max, must be increased. If the 0, 0 is past the bed, and it's not, the distance must be decreased. Okay, the 0, 0 point is over the bed. The distance from the home point must be increased. The amount of determined by the output of the M114 by update position max and position end stop for both stepper X and stepper Y as follows. Okay. For X, new equals the current minus get position. For Y, new equals current minus get position. Okay. So let's go find those. Let's go back. Let's switch you guys back to this guy. So we are going to be looking in the position max. Okay. I'm just going to quickly find it by going find position. And okay, XY stepper settings, position minimum. I think that's where I want to be. Position end stop 250. Okay, what did it say to do here? Position max and position end stop for the new X and for the new Y. Okay. So we are here at position end stop 250, position max 250. Okay, I am confused. Okay, maybe I'm in a different section. Let's have a look. Stepper Y, position min 0. Stepper X. Where do I put these numbers? Let me read again. For both stepper X and stepper Y. So stepper X right here. But stepper X is not showing a min position. Stepper Y is showing a min position. Huh. I wonder if I have to even bother changing anything then. Stepper X, oh, right there, I get it, okay. And stepper Y, oh, there we are there, min there, and there's the min up here, okay. So min position for stepper X would be 0. Its current one is 0, minus the get position. So 0 minus 10 would be minus 10. Does that make any sense? Do I want a negative position in here? And then the Y is 0 minus 0. I'm going to leave them both at 0. That it just means the X isn't going to come as close to the edge as I want it to. Doesn't matter. I mean, X is almost, it is like within 1 to 2 millimeters. Just means that I'm not going to be able to print right to the dead edge of the bed, and I'm fine with that. I'm just going to save these numbers right there. I think I'm good with that. I'm happy with that. Okay. Okay, let's home it. I want the homing to go faster. I think the homing is so slow. And let me see if I can find the homing speed on this. Printer config. Um, where did I see the home speed earlier? I think it was set to 100. Yeah. Nah. Homing speed 8. Number of lead screws are slower. 2.4. 10 is the recommended max. 10 is the recommended max for homing speed. Okay. Well, let's move it to 9. I just want it to home a little quicker. That's for the Z steppers. Okay, now for the X and Y steppers. Extruder, where's my X and Y? Excuse me. XY stepper settings. Here we go. Position, homing retract. Where's my speed? Right there. Homing speed 25. Oh, that's slow. Okay, let's move that up to 50. That's the X. Let's find the Y. Homing speed 25. Let's move that up to 50. And let's save and restart. The bed is larger than print volume. It's 254. Oh, okay. So 0 by 0 is 2 millimeters for each side. That's fine. Okay, so let's just see. I'm going to bring my X and my Y over. I'm going to see if they home a little quicker for me now. Okay, let's go back here. Let's see if they home a little quicker. Oh, yeah, that's much quicker. That's like twice as fast as it was. I can go to 100, they say, for that, but there we go. That's much better. Okay, so we got the homing down. So let's move the Z down a bit. Oops, wrong way. Let's increase our Z. Come on, let's go 50. Okay, now what I want to do is, I guess right now I need to configure the Klicky probe. It's been a while. I got to remember how to configure the Klicky probe so that I can do a Z tilt adjust, since I don't have the inductive probe on here. So Klicky probe configuration it is. Let me see if I can find the documentation. Although, let's see if I can remember how to do that. It's going to be under Klicky variables. Okay. Okay, variable dock speed. The speeds are fine. We didn't have to change those. Safe Z. Variable Z end stop X. Variable Z end stop Y. Okay, so these need to be changed. So the maximum bed on these is 250. And 250. Well, let me switch over so you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm going off memory here, so I may end up doing something wrong. It's very possible. So, oops. So that's the maximum bed size is 250, 250. If a separate Z end stop switch is in use, you specify the coordinates of the switch here. Set to 0 to have the probe move to the center of the bed. Okay. So the coordinates of the Z, I have those. They are 148 for the X. This is my Z switch. It's 148 for the X, and it's 250 for the Y. Okay. Variable docking location. Okay, here we go. Check the printer-specific documentation on Clipper dock undock configuration. These are dummy values dock location. So the X dock location and the Y dock position. And the variable docking location is Z. Okay, Z dock position, minus 128 for gantry frame mount. And we are on the gantry frame. Okay, so I need to move my X and Y so it's right over the dock in the pickup position. Okay, so let's go ahead, and first thing we'll do is let's just save these again. Let's do a save and restart. So I save those other values I did. Then we'll home it, and then we'll move the X and Y right over so it's in the pickup position for the probe, and we'll do an M114 and get that exact location for that config file. Okay, so let's do a home. I think I'm doing this all right. I think this is all going from memory. So okay, now we will turn this, probably better off in this view here. And we'll zoom in a little bit here so you guys can get a bird's eye view, not a bird's eye view, but a crow's eye view of what I'm doing here. So we have the probe mount. The probe is right here. So we're going to move. We're going to come over. Oh, I can come straight across because my Z is going to be 250 to pick up the probe. Unless, of course, no, I don't want it to be anything else. I want my Z to be 250 to pick up the probe. So I just have to determine where the X is. So let's come over 50. Let's come over another 50. Okay, that might be it. Let's just see where we're at. We are we are dead center in the middle of this probe here. You can kind of see the nozzle is square between the two screws that are on the probe. So there we have picked up the probe. So let's do an M114. This is kind of exciting. Excuse me. We'll do an M114. So it's X40, excuse me, X is 48. X 48 and Y is 250. Y is 250. And the Z stays the same because we leave the Z where it is because it's fixed on a gantry. Okay. Now, it's going to ask me another question. It's going to ask me how far out. It's going to ask me how far out I want the Y to come once the probe is picked up in order to clear the probe dock. So what I'm going to do for now for that is, so you can get the side view there, so you can see that it's right on there and it's picked up the probe. So I'm going to move Y. I think if I move 25 millimeters out, we're going to be good. Let's have a look. There we go, 25 millimeters. It's got the probe picked up in the proper position. It should be good. So we're going to make a note of that. Y is 25 for the out. Okay. So let's go back into the config file. Klicky variables. Okay. So here we are. Okay, so variable end stop X. Okay, we've already got that. Variable Z end stop, Z end stop Y. So now we're down here, variable dock location X. So the X dock location is 48. and the Y dock location is 250. Okay, and we leave the Z at minus 128 because it is gantry frame mounted. Oh, thanks, Bigger Fish. I'm on and Teza, hello, sir. I'm on medication right now, and I'm just you can hear it in my voice a little bit, but I'm not doing too bad. I've felt better, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, so we go back. So now we have our X and Y location of the dock. So that's where it's going to go to. That's telling it that's where the probe is docked. Now we come down here. Dock move. So final toolhead movement to release the probe on the dock. It's relative to move. So basically, we want to move. Why are we moving X on this one when we're docking? Wouldn't we be moving Y? Let me think about this for a minute. Attach move, dock. Oh, the dock for the final docking move. Okay. So basically what it's saying is when it docks the probe, so it's got the probe, it's put the probe back in the dock. Now we want to move the head so that the probe stays in the dock, so we want to move X. So we want to move over X, and we'll move that 40 millimeters. So we'll leave that as it is. That's the same setting for the 2.4. Okay, we don't need it to move Y, we don't need it to move Z, we just need it to move over, and once it moves over that 40, it's going to keep the probe parked in the dock. Then we have attach move, final toolhead movement to attach the probe on the mount. It's relative. So here's where we don't want an X move, and I said 25 for Y, but 30 is fine. It just means it's going to come out 30. And Z is just going to move down 20 in order just to make sure that the probe is not going to hit the bed at all. So we can leave these things as they are. The critical numbers on this was the position of the actual probe. Listen to me talking like I know what I'm doing. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Oh, man, Hayes tuning in. We'll see. I've got a little bit more to go on this. This is just, I'm basically stealing most of the settings from the 2.4, but adapting them to the Trident bed size. Location to park the tool head. Variable parking X. So this is half the bed, basically, is what we're doing here. So on a 250, we're going 125. And we're going to go 125. Okay, and Z can stay at 30. Okay, again, this is all from memory. I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong. So you got to trust me here. I got to trust myself. Okay, below this remark, you normally do not need to configure attach move to. Okay, so I don't think I need to worry about anything else here. Intermediate tool head movement to attach. We don't need to move the tool head to attach it. The probe on the dock, blah, blah, blah. We can leave all this here for now. So let's just save and restart. Here we go. You do know what you're doing. I've read the manual, but I read the manual last time. This is all from memory. For instance, on this front page, there should be some docking and undocking things here, and they're not there. So for some reason, they are not showing up yet. So let's continue. So I think it's the other macros I have to look at. So Klicky macro config. Let's see what's under here. I don't know if I have to change anything here. Oh, I know what I got to do. I've got to put I know what I got to refer to. If I go back into this one under my machine, under my printer config, I've got to add. I have to add Klicky probe config right here. I have to add that include line right here. So let's copy that. Auto Z. I don't know if I'm doing auto Z. Eventually I will, but we'll get to that in a minute. So under here, so if I go back out of here and go into my printer config, I do have to go under here. We can boom, we can go ahead and add that in. There we go. So we add Klicky probe config. And I'm pretty sure, let's save and restart. We should not get an error. This should all be good. Now the Klicky probe. Oh, hang on. Printer data config, Klicky probe, macro config does not exist. Okay, so I've obviously include Klicky probe config. Okay, I've obviously typed something wrong. Klicky-probe.config. Let's go ahead and see. Include Klicky-probe.config. I think I got to take those two things right there out. I think it puts them in automatically, and I think that was my error. No, we didn't have an error. Okay. Home Pi printer data config. Klicky macros config does not exist. Okay. Include the file. Hey, Ken. This is just me playing around, so let's see. Okay, so Klicky macro config, Klicky variables config. So I really got to go back and read the instructions is what I ought to do. Data config. So home Pi printer data config Klicky macros config does not exist. Where is it looking for that Klicky macros config? So under here we have Klicky probe config. Oh, I have to include. Do I have to include Klicky macros config under here as well? I don't remember doing it on here. Oh, I bet it's down here. Hang on. I bet it's down in my macro section. No, I really ought to get the instructions and read them. Yeah, I really ought to read. I really ought to read the instructions. Name has to be the exact name. Oh, really? Is that what I did? Macros, S. Okay. Did I not call it macros with an S? I didn't. Oh, rename. Look at that. Thanks, guys. Macros config. Okay, now let's restart. No, we still have the error. Now, which other one? Klicky bed mesh calibrate config does not exist. Okay. I don't have the bed mesh calibrate config here. Do I have it over here? Boom, boom, boom. Klicky quad gantry level bed mesh calibrate config right there. I didn't copy that one over. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what's in here. Oh, this is just a real quick one to tell it how to calibrate the bed. Bed mesh calibrate. And perform bed leveling with Klicky automatic probe. And the bed size and everything was determined in the Klicky variables. So let's go ahead and copy this. And let's make sure we name it properly. Bed mesh calibrate config. Like that. And we'll go in here and we'll populate this. We'll save and restart. See what we got now. Oh, we got another error, of course. Quad gantry level config. Now, we don't want the quad gantry level. Okay, so this is where I've got to be careful. We're not quad gantry leveling. So, and that one was found, quad gantry level config there. We don't have a quad gantry level. We need a, this is where I've got to check, and I've got to do my homework here. Okay, so for now, to get rid of that quad gantry level config, I'm going to go in here, and that is showing up under the, is it under the variables? Include, no, where would I have found that? I know you got, it's probably like you guys are going, what's he doing? He doesn't know what he's doing. And you're right, because I'm going by memory here. You're late. That's okay. I'm only going for about another 20 to 25 minutes. It's only going to be an hour and a half stream tonight because we have plans tonight. And who's messaging me here? Well, just my business partner wondering how I'm feeling. Okay. The salad fork kit works out to close. Holy cow. That's expensive for that size, isn't it? Andrew Humphrey, hello. Our dollar is tanking, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so I need to I want to find out where that is. It's looking for the quad gantry level config. I don't quite remember where it's looking for it. I think is it in the macros? Quad gantry level. No, it's not going to be in the macro. Oh, it might be in the macros. But I need to, so we're not quad gantrying leveling. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to search for Klicky probe config for Trident. I'm going to look under GitHub microswitch probe magnetic Klicky probe installation on 2.4. Okay, I need to find, because there will be a config for the Trident, which will be the I don't remember the name of it. You're not quad gantry leveling, but you're only leveling three gantries type thing. So, or three axes. Klicky probe. Okay, let me redo my search term. Config. Installing Klicky probe on Trident. Okay, I'm just looking for the config file. There we are. Voron Core XY 3D printer Klicky config file for Trident. Trident Klicky probe config version 1. Let's download that and see what it is. Although I don't need that in the quad gantry leveling or the yeah. And I don't believe the Voron documentation talks about Klicky probe. Of course they wouldn't, because it's an addition. Okay, so yeah, they're not going to talk about Klicky probe on here. They're talking about initial setup, then slicer setup, and then first print. So yeah, bed leveling, PID, yeah, we're going to PID tune after and everything like that. So okay, I need to find. Let's go back. Oh, come on, stop texting me. I told you I'm feeling about the same, but I'm getting worse. Did you go to the birthday? No. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, microswitch, Klicky probe, readme, Clipper macros. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, bed mesh calibration, quad gantry. Okay, Klicky screws tilt config. That's probably the one I want right there. No, where's the Trident one? Klicky Z tilt adjust config, right there. That's what I'm looking for right there, is that config file right there, which is good for the 1.8, the Legacy, and the Trident. and the V-Core 3, and the Mercury 1. Okay, so let's find that Klicky Z tilt adjust config. Where is that file? I'm assuming it's on here somewhere. I always get screwed up where to find files on GitHub. Okay, we've got include Klicky Pro config. Okay. Okay. Klicky screw tilt. Klicky Z tilt is what I'm looking at. Just config Z tilt helper script. Allows the machines. Okay, and for further help here, independent motors will level the bed automatically. Assumes that the configuration is already defined. Okay. There we are. Z tilt adjust right here. Okay. Is it that simple? Multiple Z stepper tilt alignment. This feature enables independent adjustment of multiple Z steppers to adjust for tilt. And if this section is present, then a Z tilt adjust extended G code command becomes available. Okay. This is where I need to be careful, and I got to do some reading. The following commands are available when the Z thermal adjust config section is enabled. Okay, let's go back. I'm just going to read through this. I think this is possibly what I need to copy in and create a Z tilt adjust config file. Okay, retry 0, horizontal. Okay, so let's do that. We can copy that right here. Copy that. And I need to create a config. So I need to create a Z tilt adjust. Z tilt adjust config. I think this is right. We're going to find out. I need to paste that in there. Okay, and then I need to populate this, but let's just worry about that in a minute. I need to, this time I'm going to mute myself. There we go. Okay. Did I not bring a drink down here? It's 2-week-old water now. There we go. Okay, so we have the Z tilt adjust config. Let's see what's going to be set in here. Oh, my ears are popping. A list of XY coordinates, one per line, subsequent lines indented, describing the location of each bed pivot point. The pivot point is the point where the bed attaches to this given Z stepper. It is described using nozzle coordinates, the XY position of the nozzle, if it could be done more directly above the point. The first entry corresponds to stepper Z, the second Z1, and the third Z2. This parameter must be provided. Okay. Okay, so what we need to do is determine the XY coordinates for the Z steppers. And we want to be above or as close to the pivot points as possible. So the pivot points on these are basically here, here, basically where the screw holes are, or where, well, the pivot points are going to be in around this area, because obviously the pivot points are directly here, but we want to get them as close as we can on the bed. So we're looking probably where these 3 screw holes are falling. Thank you, Friendship Lights, and thank you, Teza. Okay, so I need to get rid of that one error first. So let's save and close this. I need to get rid of the quad gantry level config. I need to find out where it's looking for that. And I don't think it's, so it's going to be something to do with the Klicky probe config. Right here, quad gantry level config. We want to comment that out. And we want the Z tilt adjust config uncommented, because we now have that in there, but there's nothing in it. Okay, so we want to do that one. So we have the macros, the Z tilt adjust config. Let's save and restart. Let's see if that gets rid of that error. It doesn't exist because I don't have it active. So for now, Klicky probe config. For now, we'll comment that out. Oh, I didn't name it. Klicky Z tilt adjust. I don't think I named it properly. That's why. Yeah, I didn't. We're going to rename that Klicky Z tilt adjust. Was that the right name? Let's make sure. Yeah, that should be it. So let's save and restart. That should get rid of that error. You just got notification of Nero stream. Oh, on Friday or today? He's streaming right now. Homing override and save Z homing cannot be used simultaneously. Okay. Homing override and safe Z homing cannot be used simultaneously. Okay, let's see what's going on. Homing speed, homing retract, homing positive, homing speed. Okay, where am I getting that error from? Something to do with the Klicky probe config files. I gotta go soon, but hey, this has been interesting. Let's just say that we have the Klicky probe config, Klicky macros, Klicky bed mesh calibrate, and then so that came along when I activated the Klicky Z adjust. So Z tilt, there we go. So that I need to comment out, I think, for now, until I get everything in here. No, we're going to have that same error. Okay, interesting. Okay, so it's nothing in this one that's causing that error. Excuse me. This came from a stream doing a giveaway. Oh, cool. It was giveaway stream. Okay. And you just got notification of it. Oh, man. YouTube is bad for that. Okay, homing override and safe Z homing. Okay. And I don't think it's going to be under here. Let me look up override. Let's see. No. So safe Z homing is enabled here, and which is what we want. Because we're homing, that's the XY position of the Z probe. So there's so the other error, the other one is homing override. That's got to be in a macro under the Klicky macros. It's got to be under here somewhere. Homing variables. Homing override right here. Oh, I forgot I'm not on the I'm not on this screen. Boom. So homing override. Here's the homing override section. Okay, I gotta see. Collect user variables. Okay, now I need to be careful. I've either got to disable homing override or I've got to disable safe Z homing. Now, if I'm using Klicky probe to home, so well, how did I do it? Let's just see what I did on this other printer. This will definitely tell me. Let's look up safe. Yeah, okay, so I disabled safe Z homing on this. So obviously, common sense tells me then if I disable safe Z homing here, it's going to get the probe position from the macro or from the Klicky probe setup configuration. Okay. That makes sense. So we disable, but I got to make sure. So then definitely got to make sure. So this is going to be staying in force as the homing override. But we got to make sure that the Klicky configuration files are definitely correct, which I believe under the variables is where it was telling it the exact position. So there's our ZN stop position right there. So it knows that. Okay, so it knows that. So then I can definitely go into the printer config and I can definitely disable the safe homing because the Klicky probe config file knows the position of my Z probe. Okay. So we can go here and we can actually just, I believe that, I believe somebody told me it was command control slash, and then I can just basically take these three lines and control slash. Okay, so let's, and Z tilt, we're fine. Okay, so let's save and restart. And we're good. So that error's gone away now. Bed mesh calibrate not found in G code macro rename. Oh, we're just getting all these errors. I just have to do it one by one. Existing command bed mesh calibrate not found in G code macro rename. Oh, love this stuff. Who loves this stuff? Klicky bed mesh calibrate. G code macro bed mesh calibrate. Okay. Klicky macros. G code macro bed mesh calibrate. Where are you? Let's look it up. Meshing. I'm kind of mixed up here. I think my head is too confused at the moment. And I don't know exactly. I think I need to look this up. Excuse me. Okay. See what I get for not reading the actual instructions fully on the Klicky probe? Let's go back here. Klicky variables, Klicky cog variant, Klicky probe, Klicky macros config. And mesh. Let's just see. Okay, so bed mesh calibrate config. Rename existing bed mesh calibrate. Okay, so it's something to do with the rename. Something to do with the rename on this. Bed mesh calibrate config. Rename existing bed mesh calibrate. Perform a bed mesh leveling with Klicky automatic G-code. Okay, and the error is telling me bed mesh calibrate not found in the G-code macro rename. Okay. Well, I shall look this up. Anyone that runs Clipper needs this stuff. Yes, it can be challenging. Well, 7:30 and my hour and a half is up. We have a family things to do this evening in preparation for we're just going to have a quiet night tomorrow, watch a movie probably. Actually, my wife and I are going to watch a movie tonight too. So she's got the next 3 days off. So it's nice to be able to spend some time together. Anyways, we've made some progress. These little errors are it's just me going from memory. But things are working. We fixed the cable chain. The drag chain was too short on this. So we fixed this. X, Y, and Z are homing. All the motors are running in the right direction. We got our screen fixed on the front here. We've made some progress. We're this close to throwing filament in and printing. This close, although, can I be honest? I haven't printed the filament holder yet, or have I? Anyways, doesn't matter. I can print the filament holder on Sunday. I'm not going to be. Sunday stream is not about this printer, as you all know from my YouTube thumbnail. Sunday stream is about the P1P Bamboo Lab printer. First sort of pre-built printer I've had in here in a while. So we're going to be unboxing that printer, seeing what all the hype is about. So if you're interested, I know you've seen them. There's videos galore out there on YouTube for unboxing that P1P, but my unboxings are always more fun because inevitably I'm going to crush my finger under something, I'm going to pinch my finger under something, I'm going to bleed, or I'm going to bump my head on something. So tune in Sunday. Tomorrow is a day off of streaming, so because it's New Year's Eve and it's time to spend with family, we will pick this up again for sure. This has got to be finished sooner than later. I want to get this thing printing, and then we'll worry about getting the covers and everything on once this is printed. I'm even tempted to leave this as an open air printer because I've got the 2.4 behind me here with the enclosures for running ABS and high temperature filaments that require an enclosure. I could use this printer strictly for running PETG or PLA. So we'll see. I kind of like the look of it open with all the colors I've used and so forth. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyways, thank you again, LDO Motors and Sparta 3D, for sponsoring this build. I forgot to mention you guys in the last couple live streams, and I apologize for that. And thank you, Polymaker Matter 3D and Sparta 3D, for the filament that I use in this build. So you guys have yourselves a wonderful night. We'll see you guys Sunday. Happy New Year, everybody. Yes, exactly, Andrew. It sounds weird, right? See you next year. I'm just going over here. And yeah, so we'll see you guys next year, Sunday, for my stream, unboxing the Bamboo Lab P1P. Hopefully I get a good attendance for that because it should be fun. I'm excited to get that going and see if I have the same thoughts on the printer as other people that have done it. And then, based on how that unboxing goes, I may look eventually at a X1 Carbon. We'll see, but I'm waiting to see what they come out with next as well. So, but I just had to jump on the bandwagon because. So, anyways, everybody have a wonderful night. Happy New Year, everybody. Don't party too hard tomorrow night if that's what your plan is. And we will see you Sunday. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.